Thank you so much for your testimony today. Very powerful. You both have served this country in various ways before, during, and after your service. Representative Luria, you've had a distinguished career in the U.S. Navy. Representative Kinzinger, you've served in the U.S. Air Force and National Guard. Given that record of service, what would you tell those who are in nonpartisan professional roles in the U.S. government right now?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair. During my time in the military, I was never a very partisan person. And I think that, serving on a deployment, sailors operating nuclear reactors, for example, I didn't turn to them and say, are you a Democrat, are you a Republican? We're serving the country, we're serving the Constitution, we're carrying out a mission that's very important for the defense of our nation and preserving democracy. And I think for today, some people in uniform, it can be challenging to see the rhetoric that's surrounding this, to see the lies I cited in my remarks, the attacks on a sitting U.S. senator. It's chilling.
Welcome back to 45th Perspective. If this is your first time here, this channel is about cutting through the noise, digging into the facts, and giving you an honest, patriotic perspective on the stories shaping our country. Today, we're talking about comments from former Congresswoman and Navy veteran Elaine Luria, where she described the impact of January 6th and the Trump administration on U.S. service members as chilling. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, let's slow this down and actually look at what was said, what it means, and what matters most for the future of this country. Elaine Luria spoke from the standpoint of someone who served in uniform. Her core argument is that the military is supposed to be nonpartisan. In her words, sailors and soldiers don't ask each other who they voted for. They serve the Constitution, follow lawful orders, and carry out their mission. On that point, she's absolutely right. Every conservative who respects the military understands that discipline, legality, and loyalty to the Constitution are the foundation of our armed forces. Where her concern comes in is about rhetoric after January 6th. She argues that attacks on public officials or service members who emphasize following only legal orders create fear within the ranks. Her question is simple but serious. If high-ranking figures are publicly targeted for saying only follow lawful orders, what message does that send to a young soldier or sailor who might someday face a questionable command? That's not an abstract issue. The duty to refuse illegal orders is written into military law. Conservatives have always believed in law and order, not blind obedience. Patriotism does not mean following unlawful commands. It means defending the Constitution even when it's uncomfortable. At the same time, this is where balance matters. January 6th was wrong. A breach of the Capitol should never happen in a constitutional republic. But it's also true that many Americans feel that January 6th has been used politically to paint millions of patriotic conservatives as threats to democracy. That frustration is real, and dismissing it only deepens division. Luria also connects January 6th to what she describes as a broader chilling effect during the Trump years. As a right-wing patriot, I don't agree with that framing entirely. Under President Trump, the military was funded, respected, and rebuilt after years of neglect. Morale issues in the armed forces today have just as much to do with cultural confusion, weak leadership, and endless political pressure coming from Washington as they do with anything tied to Trump. Another key voice in this discussion was Adam Kinzinger, who urged career professionals not to give up, arguing that chaos exhausts ordinary Americans while energizing extremists. Whether you agree with him or not, there's truth in one thing he said: disengagement is dangerous. Conservatives cannot afford to check out of institutions like the military, government service, or civic life. When we leave those spaces, they don't stay neutral. They get filled by ideology. So here's the honest takeaway. The military must remain nonpartisan, focused on lawful orders and constitutional duty. Political leaders should be careful with their words, because service members are watching. But we also need to resist narratives that turn legitimate conservative concerns into accusations of authoritarianism. We can defend the Constitution without demonizing half the country. Being a patriot means holding two ideas at once. We reject chaos and lawlessness, and we reject fear-based politics that undermine trust in our institutions. The answer isn't silence, and it isn't surrender. It's clarity, courage, and commitment to the principles that made this country strong in the first place. If you appreciate thoughtful, fact-driven analysis from a conservative point of view, make sure you like this video and subscribe to 45th Perspective. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these conversations going. Thanks for watching, thanks for thinking critically, and I'll see you in the next one.
To say that someone who has simply said the words, only follow legal orders, is being persecuted, perhaps punished directly by DOD financially for saying those words. What about the sailor or soldier on the deck plates or in the field? What are they to do in this environment if they're given an illegal order? When someone with so many resources and such a powerful platform to speak and defend themselves is being attacked. So I find it very concerning, and along the themes of what I was trying to describe about how not only January 6th, but the follow-on to January 6th, and how that has perpetuated through the second Trump administration, has a very dangerous and chilling effect on our democracy and for our armed services.
And very well said. I agree 100%. I'll add one thing, which is just generally, to anybody out there that's working in a career position, it's in the military, whatever, is don't give up hope. Listen, this is all going to get better in a year and in 3 years, okay? Those are like different increments of how much better it's going to get, I believe. And someday we're going to look back, and 4 years is going to seem like nothing. I mean, we always know in history it seems like nothing. But we lose this fight for our country if we get discouraged and we get exhausted. In chaos, like the people that we're up against, they love chaos. This actually energizes them. It's like a shot of 5-hour energy drink. For us, it exhausts us. And so our battle is to stay engaged through the exhaustion. And so that's what I would encourage.